Oh yeah? How you feel? No problem, right? You take your band-aid off?
Oh, right away.
Yeah, yeah. Last time I didn't take it off. I forgot about it, and I peeled it off. The glue was not good on the adhesive. It made my I had the little yeah. I'm allergic to that. Testing 1 2. Is the mic on?
Yeah, I get you.
Hope the battery lasts. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. If I was my worked on that end with those guys, right? You can take your group over there and they go through it. But then later on, after we start up, then you can just go in there, take them. I know Paul said he had trouble with the figure eights and the foot pivoting, so they're all gonna have problems with that. So see, you can just review all that stuff, explain it, and then. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna line up. Any of the newer people, Bob, you can go down here. Mine is gonna be down this end, so he can support you through those. Actually, if so, Paul, you can go down this end. You're gonna be working with mine anyways later, and yeah, and Monty can be the place. You can stand in the middle here if you want. That way. Yeah, so you can view and then later on you can go that way. Okay. Yeah, you can come forward a little bit so because people might come in. Yeah. You can come up to maybe the close to the red dot. All right, ready? We'll bow in. So, 2, 3, salute. Okay, first exercise, feet shoulder width, hands up like this. Turn it over. Make a fist on one side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. To the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, next, hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Lift up, palms up. Palms down. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, one more time. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Back to center. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands on your waist. Circular movements. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Cross. Knee kneecaps. Circular movements slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center. Hands on your waist. Neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Center, down, circular movements. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, and stop. Center, hands up, palms up, pull toward the face, elbows out to the side, fingertips out to the side, up on your toes, and down. Inhale, exhale. Try it again. Inhale through the nose, exhale through your nose, up on your toes on the inhalation. Exhale, lower the heels and the hands. Okay, spread your feet. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, stretch it out. So if you're new, you can kind of control how much stretching you can do. Switch. Switch. Okay, switch and do the best you can. Don't overdo it. Switch, straighten the front knee. Switch. 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 center. So you have careful with this one. Uh, Okay, shake it out. Hands up. Pull in, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands in your waist. Do a few shoulder rolls. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Okay, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Okay, press, release, exhale, inhale. Breathe through your nose. And stop. Hands up. Pull in, inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Open your toes. Exhale. Okay, circular movements in the front of your body. Circular movements with the wrists. Reverse. And center. Palms down. Circular movements. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 2 circles, and the third one you go straight up as high as you can. 1, 2, and up. 1, 2, and relax. Release the tension in the shoulders, and stop. Shake it out. Okay, hands on your hips. Going to go side to side a little bit, bringing your weight over the supporting leg. So we support our weight shifting one side at a time. Okay, then we're going to shift till we can support our weight and lift the knee. Switch. Okay. Right foot forward. We're going to move our hands up and down vertically. So the opposite hand is like it's lifting and dropping with the knee. And switch. Left foot forward. Once you get it started, just keep that rhythm and up and down. And stop. Okay, shake it out. Arm swing. So find your center line, and then we're going to shift the weight to the left and kick in the right foot. So your arms and legs are working just like you're walking, So just kind of relax. Don't swing the arms too excessively. So just like you're walking. So we don't walk like this. We kind of, so this just, so keep it simple. And relax the hips. Okay, switch other side. Try not to lean forward. Keep your vertical spine. So relax the back. And center. Okay, next we go side to side. Hands opposite the leg and swing. Okay, switch. And center. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing again, hands up, pull in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, silk grilling, hold the ball, forward and back. Okay, switch. Opposite side. And center. Okay. Right foot forward. Most of the weight is on the back leg. Your left leg has most of the weight. We cross the forearms and we open and close. Open and close. Open and center. Parallel arms, preparation. Rise and fall, rise and sink in the knees. Okay, lower hoop, round out the elbows, palm facing up. Shoulder height. Elbows down. Lower, palms down. Extend. Hands up, pull in, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, cross the arms like this, diagonal, diagonal flying. Okay, switch. Okay, center. Cloud hands. And center. Palms down. Lift up. Carry tiger to the mountain. Upper hoop. Palms out. Cross the forearms. And down. Infinity sign. Okay, form the fist. palms together. Strum the lute, vertical elbow, starting in a triangle position. Find your center line. Turn the shoulders slightly. And center. Okay, turn, draw the bow. Okay, widen the stance, feet 45 degrees pointing to the corner. Fan through the back. Right hand on top, out to the side, right side. Left hand on top, turn to the left. Right hand on top, turn to the right. Turn to the left, left hand on top. So in a cross hand position, they separate when they're up here. So the palm pushes to the side, shoulder height. Upper hand is in front of the forehead. Okay, so next, feet back to shoulder width. Raise the right hand. Raise the left hand. Give it a good stretch, lift and push and press. And so, okay, palms down. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, one more. Hands up. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, good. So that's it for the warm-ups. So we can kind of shift around, maybe mine, and we can take a group to the other side. So Paul, you guys can go on the other side, in the other room. Monty, you want to go in the other room? You can do that. Work with that group. Monty, if you need some help, you can just come in and see who you can grab. So anyways, all right, so let's go through short form. Starting off, feet parallel. Let's see, give yourself enough room. preparation. Sink the elbow, relax the shoulders. Hook your wrists. Hold the ball. Shift. Step up. Relax. So we have people that been doing this a while here. So while exercise is something that's always prescribed that we should move our body and get things moving, and a lot of people like go to gyms and so forth, but as part of prevention of age-related degeneration, I think movement and synchronization of body is more important than just the physical side of that exercise, because building movement and integration is how we move our body, and most of us really are typically kind of one-sided, and we're used to doing things one side at a time because it's a lot simpler, and typical tasks are usually done on one side. But when you integrate your body, it's building this body intelligence that I talked about, where the two sides actually have to develop a relationship. So a relationship is sort of building movement, working together. They complement each other, they support each other, and it's kind of moves and drives each part of your body. So the more integrated it becomes, the more complex the program is up in here. But at the same time, the reality check is that it's a knowing, and that knowing becomes subconscious. So while we don't think or pay much attention to anything that happens on a subconscious level, it's because we take it for granted and we can just do it. And that's typically how we get through life. We just do it, and we don't really think too much about the process. When you do something like this, especially if you're even teaching this, the process is very important, and the ideas behind it is what's very important. So those are the principles and the concepts. So if you kind of try to build relationships in the body, you have to understand what that means. So that the right and left side work together, driving each other, whether it's this. Now, right and left side, the most basic thing is right and left hands. But our whole body is made up of two hemispheres. You have a right side and a left side. But we only pay attention to the right and left side. Well, what about the front and the back? What about the top and the bottom? Right? So all of that becomes space. So humans walk around in a space, and we don't really pay attention to it, right? So this spatial disadvantage as you get older becomes something that we only know what's in front of us. We don't know anything around us. So that's something that you build, and that happens in the form. The form builds through postures, that integration of body. The form builds a mapping of direction, which takes us in numerous directions. So we're aware of direction, and then we become aware of our space in front of us. So really 45 degrees is actually all we need to deal with in that spatial direction. So it's really a curve in the front. And when we turn, they make movie theaters like this now, like those OmniVision things. So you go into a movie theater, instead of seeing it flat, you see it goes around. Some people go there and get dizzy. I don't actually like that because I do get dizzy going into those kind of movies because I'm so used to just kind of like this. So anyways, so when we move up and down is what Kim's doing, right and left, but does the body recognize what you're supposed to do? So while we think our body is cooperating, it may not be. So you have to go through it, and you have to kind of tweak your movements, analyze your movements. There's something that my teacher used to say. It's called Ongnokian. Ongnokian is to move your brain neurons, so to use your brain to figure out what's going on. So the mind-body relationship or mind-body exercise that everybody talks about is truly that type of a thing, where the mind and the body are connected. So between the mind and the mind directs the body, and the body feeds back to the brain what it thinks it's doing or what it thinks it's supposed to be doing. So that relationship is a constant. So everything we talk about is yin and yang. It's balance, it's solid, it's empty, it's right, it's left, it's forward, it's backward, it's up, it's down. All of those concepts come into play if you think along those levels, right? If you don't think along that level, then it's just a term, So, when you study something like this, it does take a long time for your body to evolve, because it takes a long time for you to break habits. You know how when people are set in their ways, it's because it's a habit. So the mindset has to be open enough to allow you to alter it. And when you alter it, it doesn't mean that it disappears. It's still there. And it's kind of supporting your understanding as to the difference between. So the difference between is just like substantial and insubstantial. Knowing your weight is the right or left, which is solid, which is empty. So the ideas are pretty deep. So anyways, let's go through the Tai Chi Paradigm one more time. And we'll do it slowly, and try to feel the movements. And try to get your right and left sides to work together. And maintain the geometry of position, which is what is truly the muscle memory. So we're still in the paradigm form, so we want to just go into fist under elbow. Okay, deep breathing. So, when I teach these classes, especially when we have long-term students, I always dig into, the conversations I would have with my teacher and kind of think about what he used to say to me. And at that point, I probably didn't even understand completely what he was telling me. But, one of the things he used to say to me is, just like a relationship, there's a give and take, right? A give and take is a teacher gives to you, and then you take the information. So relationships are, not just in movement, but it's in relationships among people. So dipsu means receive and take, but the thing is, you have to be ready to accept the information. So even back when I first opened the school back in the very early days, Helen would say to me, you have to teach better. But at that time, teaching better didn't necessarily help the students because students weren't ready to accept. So accepting is when your body has gone through a stage of evolution and has adapted to some of the concepts and has embodied some of the information so that what's told to you starts to make sense. So at the same time, telling you the information and you're not ready for it, it doesn't really benefit you. But it doesn't mean that your brain, if you're taking the information and doesn't house it as a concept, and then over time, when your body's ready for it, it'll take that information and start to make the transformation on your movements and in your body. So that is a slow process. So that's something that, as you continue to evolve and practice, you realize that there's a lot of information that's been stored up here that hasn't been applied. So, that's sort of passive learning, and then eventually the body takes it up and it starts to understand it. So I talk about this because if I don't tell you, then I'm not doing my job. So I at least have to let you know what's running through my mind and what's going on in your learning. So then that gives you a chance to evolve before you wait another 5 years and say, well, I didn't hear this before. So, I have to inform you and give you this information as a sharing. And then what you do with it is really up to you. That's individual basis, because everyone evolves and adapts it differently. And not everyone here is doing it as a profession. You're doing it recreationally or taking it as a serious hobby. So what you do with it really is up to you. On my side of it, I can only do what I do is to give you as much information as I can from my teachers, my forefathers, and also from my own experience. And if you can capture the understanding, the essence of what I'm trying to teach, then you've gained from that. So that's the verbal transmission. All information is really passed down verbally. Not a lot of this stuff is in writing because they didn't share it back in the day with everyone. But when you're doing something like this, and I have so many serious long-term students that have practiced, I think it's important if you at least have heard it and take it in whichever way you take it in. Now, just to bring out a couple of points through the long form, when we talk about a transition from vertical to horizontal, which is something that I talk a lot about, we know vertical, we know horizontal, but if you're going to start to integrate your movements, it really, just like we do here, right? We learn this exercise as a pivotal exercise, and it's kind of simple, and it's building that first relationship between a right and a left. So that's kind of in a single plane. But if movements are multi-dimensional, and you're changing from one dimension to the next, and it has to have a transition that is not broken, the linkage between, then when you're in this position, and the elbows and knees have a relationship, then the hand, I'm just going to do one side of the hand, you have to sink, and then as it turns, that creates the horizontal position. Because if you just go from here to here, it's broken. But that's something that you couldn't create learning this. Now, when I'm here and I press and I turn like this, that's the initiation of that integration. And then we turn and we turn. So just that idea to go from vertical to horizontal is a constant. It happens throughout everything that you do. So that's spiraling. When you go from one position to the next with a turning and a twisting, that becomes an additional dimension of movement, which is the spiraling action of your limbs. Now your forearm and your shin have two bones, and those two bones are made to create twisting forces. The reason for that is because we wouldn't be able to do probably most of the things that we do daily without that, structure. We wouldn't be able to manipulate it. Now we don't manipulate it like this typically. We just kind of like do this and do this. But when you do this and you're moving your arms and you're moving it like this, then it ties from the fingertip to the shoulder and throughout. But it's also tied to your torso. So how complex this stuff gets is really as much as your body can do. So if your body is not familiar with, what it should do, and the arm is not familiar with it, it's never going to connect until you actually have an open mind for that. So that's pretty, I say difficult to do in the beginning, because everything that we do in our fundamentals is kind of one-dimensional, because you have to build dimension. And through the dimension, you start to build more complex type things. It's like taking a square block of wood and it's square, it becomes a square leg. But if you start to spiral it and you start to turn it, it becomes something else, and it becomes something like this. Well, it's very easy to make something square. It's not so easy to make something like this. So when we move our arms, like in grasp the sparrow's tail, we create that. During that transition, you go through the oblique position, then you turn to here. This is all connected to everything happening up here. So this is just a hint of what's missing so that you can work through that, and it's in everything. Now, when I go like this, from stork, flap, swings, and I turn, my hands are like this. And then I drop my elbows like this. So we go from horizontal, which is upper horizontal, to vertical, right? So that's A to B. But the thing is, you're going to integrate the movement. You have to toe heel, right? And then you start to turn. My torso is adjusting. I start to sink my elbow, and then I merge into the center. So what happens is now your shoulders and the arms have to relax, and it becomes a merging of the two planes of movements with a spiraling downward. So what's the spiraling downward? It's going like this. So those are the little things that's overlooked, but maybe not overlooked because it's not really apparent to you, because you're going through this, but your mind is not involved with it the same way mine is. So I bring it up so you have an awareness of that, and then you start to take that movement and evolve. Now, brush knee, we have this exercise, right, which is part of that, right? When you turn to the side and you drop your elbow, if you don't do that, then you don't relax your shoulder. You don't go from horizontal to vertical if you don't do this. And then when you go like this, the elbow is down, and then you push. Now this idea of the elbow position, in most martial arts we draw the elbow back and we punch. In Tai Chi, we draw the elbow back too. But we don't draw it back because it's a physical action. It's drawn back because we have a turning of the torso. And then you punch. So in the books they would say, well, the elbow never goes beyond the side of your body. But that's not true. It goes beyond the side of the body if your body's like this. But if you're like this, it doesn't go beside the body, because now you have a linkage between the forward movement, the backward movement tied to the torso turning to the oblique position. So it appears that it doesn't move. So that's what happens in Tai Chi when they say use your will and not strength, and movement is driven by the body, which really doesn't allow for a lot of hand and arm movement. So it's a blend. So that I call the summation of components. The more parts of your body that become part of the movement, the less movement there is on any individual piece. So there's so many of these things throughout the form that it has to be addressed, you know, at different places. But at the same time, there is a sort of a common action. The vertical, the horizontal. There is something you have to think about. And then, like I said before, receiving the information, your body has to be ready. So you have to start doing it, at least be a little mindful of it. And then if it starts to happen, then it'll get to the point where it's in the subconscious, and then you try to add an additional piece that's going to make something else happen. So upper body, lower body, and the torso are three separate sections that have to come together as a relationship. Okay, so we'll go through the form. This is the long form now. You have about 15 minutes to get through it. So when you go through the form, this is not the time to try to do those little things what we just talked about. You can work on that separately. Okay, single whip. Okay, deep breathing. Okay, good. What's that?